All the candidates selected yesterday by the Sejm for the National Judicial Council were elected from clubs representing the new Sejm majority. 457 deputies took part in the vote. The absolute majority was 229 deputies. Ms. Kamila Gasiuk-Pichovic received 246 votes. Mr. Tomasz Zimoch received 246 votes. Ms. Anna Maria Żukowska received 245 votes. Mr. Robert Kropivnicki obtained 243 votes. Civic platform politicians say the period of repairing the rule of law in Poland is now beginning. Lawlessness will end, there will be an end to injustice, and the National Judicial Council will be made up of those who give the greatest guarantee of independence from politics. There will be no party appointees there to watch over the votes. Representatives of the Law and Justice Party think otherwise, predicting a gradual takeover of independent institutions by politicians of the incumbent opposition. They have been negating the National Judicial Council for the last 4 years, so I don't think there will be any change. So I rather expect just attempts at some kind of obstruction, attempts to stop the work of the National Judicial Council. In recent years, the opposition in the Sejm has boycotted the National Judicial Council, saying it is a political sham, which did not prevent them from electing their candidates yesterday. The Parliament during the last term committed a serious violation of the Constitution in this regard. Moreover, by electing the designation of 15 members of the National Judicial Council, by which it clearly exceeded its authority. The Constitution, however, makes it clear. Article 1874. The organisation, scope of activities and mode of work of the National Council of the Judiciary and the method of electing its members shall be determined by law. In contrast, the law precisely specifies the rules for electing judges to the National Council of the Judiciary. The Sejm shall elect from among judges of the Supreme Court, Common Courts, Administrative Courts and Military Courts 15 members of the Council for a joint 4-year term. The most important thing in all of this is that it is the Constitutional Court. Ultimately, I remind you that the Constitution says the Constitutional Court's rulings are final, that has decided that this is a constitutional solution. Among the elected deputies is Kamila Gasiuk-Pichovic, who 2 years ago questioned the legitimacy of the body on which she will now sit. This is not an election to the National Council of the Judiciary, for this body does not exist, because its legal existence has been challenged by European tribunals and Polish courts. This is the fiction of Ziobro and Kaczynski, a pyramid of lawlessness. Interestingly, the TV and television station, during the broadcast of the election of deputies to the NCJ, shortly after the opposition's nominees were voted in, changed the caption so that the former National Council of the Judiciary became the National Council of the Judiciary. Law and Justice proposed 4 deputies to the NCJ: Marek Asta, Arkadiusz Mularczyk, Bartosz Kownacki and Kazimierz Smoliński. None of them were elected, as were none of the party's representatives to the Presidium of the Sejm and Senate the day before. A term of dictatorship, a term of absolute enforcement of the majority, a term that will show that in a democracy the majority is unwilling to consider the interests of the minority. Politicians in the new parliamentary majority have announced that the election of new members to the NCJ is only the first step on the road to repairing the rule of law. All the while, the next steps remain a mystery.